I think this is his mulligan. I think he drew his opening hand, didn't like it, decided to throw it away.
Yep, that is fair. One key card that we saw in his opening, or first draw there, that I think will be really important in this matchup is a David.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
If one of Ross's long-term plans is the Sandberg, David can be a really effective counter to this. Oh, and what a really sweet opening hand for David. Not the fastest start, but at least it's got the core values of money.
He's got some money
and card draw.
Got some card, yeah. It's probably better than his first hand. It's got to be a little better.
Yes.
I bet he would like a sure gamble or something. But he's fine.
Right.
He's fine.
Well, that is the sort of crux of a card like Liberated Accounts. Is it's got this 6 credit threshold, which can sometimes be painful. But as Anarch, sometimes you need to just bite the bullet and credit up to put that thing down, and then it really starts paying off.
Yeah.
So the players just preparing themselves for the beginning of time. The other card I wanted to mention that we talked about a bit yesterday that I don't expect to see in this matchup, but potentially in several others, is Film Critic.
Yeah, I mean, so the question is, does David actually run it? Do we know?
Well, we will have to see. I don't believe so, but he might have some other solutions to problematic agendas.
Excellent, excellent.
All right, so Ross, we're seeing his open hand for the first time. Looks like money and more money and a Chiashi and, a saucy install snare on the remote.
Interesting. Well, you think David will take that bait?
I do not know. Oh, what a solid street peddler. That is what David wants to see.
I mean, it's pretty obvious. I mean, there's really only one target for him to grab. So
and the Parasite is a fantastic one. The ability to deploy the Parasite at any given moment is really, really convenient. Oh, man.
Nice.
That must be really nice for David to see. Chiashi, a card he does not want to tangle with if he can help it, and is glad to see that in the archives there. So he's checked R&D and is content to just take a credit.
Okay. And this has actually got to be good for David, primarily because, he made him trash that ice. I know Ross doesn't have... He was able to draw another piece of ice, but the thing is, by getting rid of ice, it's actually fantastic.
Yeah.
I mean, it gives him those accesses he needs to win this game.
Absolutely. So as we mentioned at the top, David now on 6 credits. That's a good place to be. Check in. Ooh, and a nice Sandberg trash. Another card.
Yep.
Alice already doing work. Her ability triggering 2 times and hitting some pretty powerful cards that Ross would otherwise have liked to have.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks like David's just going to... Okay.
Nice.
So David just said, hey, I'm just going to play this, gain 4, then lose it again just to play this Earthrise. This is a good start for David, I think. He's going to start getting the card draw. He's got money on deck.
It is great. With a 50-card deck, Earthrise is a nice include to draw you a lot of cards in a clickless fashion. And, of course, you can then use those clicks to get the money off of Liberated Accounts. Looks like a DNA tracker over R&D there. A extremely powerful card we saw multiple times yesterday and is taxing really for anybody on the runner side.
So this is what's insane. So Ross has that Excalibur, and he threw it on the Ice on Archives, which means David couldn't make another run.
Yep.
But when he encounters it, but we know David has that Parasite on this Street Peddler, and it's like it's really the best target.
And that is a great game plan for any Alice deck to leverage the power of Parasite to clear the way to Archives. So whatever they put there, just blow it up and keep running, keep pressuring, and that is awesome. At this point, I think David's very content to just gain some sweet-looking metal credits there and prepare himself.
Oh.
Wow. Crick is a great include
for
Ross there. I think that is what he wanted to see early on, and I think he's glad to have seen it. That's going to be a huge pressure for David on Archives.
So at this point, we've got Crick and Excalibur.
Nice. So Ross going ahead and installing the Sundew on the server the snare was in, allowing him to then recur the snare if he so choose.
I like it.
And the Sundew in Maryland campaign,
So now, I'm trying to put myself in David's shoes. So he knows he's got a Parasite on the Street Peddler. He knows he has a Parasite in hand. And now he has a Deja Vu. It makes me think he might want to start just making some poking runs.
I agree. He does have the Mimic there. That'll be very nice. And the Data Suckers as well are probably some great programs to get up and running, start to fuel that eventual nice Parasite. Yep, and David agrees. Data Sucker goes down, and we'll maybe see him start to poke.
Let's see. All right. Ooh. That's going to be interesting.
That's our first current we've seen there out of David hacktivist meeting.
Okay.
Very nice.
So this can do some work against Ross, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. Particularly because if you'll notice, Ross only has a very few number of cards in hand. So if David can catch him in a moment where Ross is like he is now with no cards in hand, hacktivist meeting can actually prevent Ross from rezzing Caprice Nisei, which would be huge.
Yeah, that is really good. Oh, interesting. Good job, David. We knew you had it in you.
Oh, and more good cards. They're orange. They're ad hoc. They're doing work. Yeah. He's got more money, and
I think that's the right play.
Nice, David.
So now we're in a weird spot, though. Normally when you play an ad hoc deck like this, you want to make sure that the money keeps coming, the cards keep coming. We're in the spot now where, David's exhausted a lot of resources, or at least the ones he had to draw and gain money.
Sure.
And his hand doesn't have a lot more options. So hopefully.
Wow. David's saying, you know what? I am going to pressure, and R&D is the place.
And I think
I hear it's got agendas. Wow, very nice.
Yeah, he says, hey, I'm going to use it now.
That is so nice to have had the David installed and prepare and snag the first agenda. 2 points to David.
Then, it was worth it. He got it. He got what he needed.
Even if he hadn't found an agenda, look, he's now got the medium and data sucker that are starting to build counters.
Yep.
This is really nice.
This looks pretty good. Now, the thing is, we know that David has also the Black Orchestra on the Street Peddler. So it may be interesting here. Maybe he wants to just simply... See, he doesn't want to put the Parasite on here because that's going to trigger a purge when he runs again.
Right.
Maybe, at best right now, what that Parasite would do is it puts it in a lot better range of Black Orchestra, so he can play with it a little.
That's true.
Wow.
Oh, okay.
He's going to play that. He has to. He's going to play that card.
Login protocol off the top. Very nice draw for him. Unfortunately for him, David has
there we go.
Found that.
I'm okay with this. I think that by lowering the strength, it means that his Black Orchestra on the discard pile gets to interact with it at some point.
Yes. David will have to trash a program here. I believe the logical choice is David, given that he's now exceeded his MU.
But it looks like players haven't noticed. Okay, there you go. There you go.
But David, catching that very quickly, and I think that's a extremely reasonable trash. David has done its work.
Yep.
That might be more important. That might come up later, right?
All right, so that is a 5-strength DNA tracker there. Ooh, and another Street Peddler. Very nice. Oh, and there it is.
The spicy card right there.
David, I'm sure very, very happy to see the Maw.
Yep.
Excellent card for Alice.
And a Demogen.
Nice. Hacktivist meeting.
So good.
That'll shut off the enhanced login protocol and really start to prevent even more pressure to Ross.
Yeah.
These cards in his remote here might not be able to res them, or even now with an agenda in hand, it's an even bigger risk.
It is.
To res them.
Like, this is the thing. Like, this is what I worry about. So Ross's strategy seemed to be, hey, if I just play everything out as soon as I can, this sort of limits Alice's, capabilities.
Right.
But the issue I have, the obvious counter to that is, if you have so few cards in hand when you do draw an agenda, it's dangerous.
That is the power of Alice. Yeah, it can increase the quality of the cards in HQ and just present a huge threat.
Right.
Now, Ross, I think, is taking a very similar line to play to what we saw him do yesterday, which is take his time. Maybe he bleeds 1 or 2 agendas, maybe even 3, as we saw yesterday, but at least he's established enough economy and a stable enough remote that he can set up for scoring out in a reliable and low-risk way.
And, it's paid off for him, obviously. So, hopefully that works here. Ooh.
All right, Kakugo res on HQ. That will most likely end the run.
Right. And I think David's making the right calls here. Like, we know David has so many, at this point, parasites at his disposal. I think David just kind of wants to start. Oh, wait, he's...
Oh, wow, okay.
What are you doing?
He's...
Okay, he's letting him take it back. That's fine.
Thinking about the paperclip, I don't know if it's necessarily the best time for it. I think it's okay to have ended the run there.
Yeah.
And he can now... choose his next line of attack.
Right. The thing is, the Parasite is really... That Parasite wants to go in there. Kakugo. Like, it wants to go in there so bad. Because, it's 1 strength.
That would be huge, particularly with the Data Sucker counter lined up.
And you got to imagine Ross is going to purge. If he doesn't draw an agenda, he's probably going to purge.
This is a pretty solid purge turn, I would agree. He's continuing to make money off of the Sundew that's fairly well protected. And,
I think you purge it.
Either purge or reinforce HQ, now that it's presented this potential vulnerability for him.
Right.
You just want to pass?
David asking if Ross wants to pass. Okay, so I mean, to be fair, Ross does have another turn that he can.
Yes, so that is 3 counters on the Parasite there, 1 on the Data Sucker, unless David can find a way in.
So he says, hey, I'm going to run Archives.
Oh, okay. This is the firing of Crick. Probably not what David wants to see, and not really going to have the ability to respond to it.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I think I'll leave it alone.
Yeah, Black Orchestra is going to be far too expensive and costly to try and get out. But at least David is going to be gaining a Data Sucker counter here and is triggering his ability and removing something from HQ.
If you're Ross, do you get Chiashi? What do you get here?
So in his archives, yep, we saw the Chiashi, we saw the Sandberg, and then there was one face down card which I did not catch.
Wow.
Yeah, okay, so he, as you said, gets out that Chiashi, which is going to be really nice for him.
And the thing is, with that Excalibur trigger, it's sort of fruitless because David now knows Ross definitely purges next turn.
Right. Okay. So and David has seen one snare now, so he knows to not run with very few cards in hand.
Right. But now here's what's crazy. So he's got the Maul. We know he has the Maul on the Street Peddler. Now, if you're David, maybe you just shift your focus. Maybe you overwrite with another Parasite.
Sure.
And put that on the Kakugo, and just attack HQ maybe.
I think that is a totally fair line of attack. Now that he knows that Chiashi is sitting there and Ross has the capability to res it,
yeah.
Unless David feels confident that he's able to break it, I think R&D may be a little shut off for several turns. So you may be right.
Yeah, of course, purge. Yeah.
All right, yep.
That's what you do here.
The classy purge, definitely got to do that. And now, Parasite, you don't necessarily have committed all the resources to it on R&D. This could be opportunity to shift focus.
Right, like especially because he's got that Temujin, and I feel like that's gonna net him some cash. If he can get the Temujin in play, he kills that Kakugo.
Yep,
it's gonna help. It'll definitely help get him some money.
That is a great idea. We'll see if David decides that is his plan of attack.
I think he's thinking about it.
He certainly is.
He's going. He's like, I need the money. Is this the right call?
Yeah, already. All 3 central servers have been attacked in different ways on different turns, and Ross, I think he's doing the best he can to sort of weather this storm and protect his centrals.
He's checking archives. He's like, I wonder what threads are here.
Yeah.
This is sort of a tough call.
Yep, checking the ice, checking the things. You know, interestingly enough, the Crick there is obviously a fantastic card for Ross, but he may indeed run out of things in Archives to install. And so at some point, Archives may be a fruitful place to run.
Oh, wow. This is not
David, very, very pleased.
But he also has 9 cards, or he has 11 cards in hand now, though.
Sure.
Because he got the 2. I think it was at 5. Got the 2 from Earthrise.
Yep. So
he's not going to get to use all the resources. I think you override this Parasite. If you ask, well, maybe not. Maybe he can be patient.
It may be time.
But I hope he doesn't trash this Parasite. I think he needs this Parasite.
Right. I would agree with that.
Yeah, I think he can get rid of Medium and get rid of the Maul. He doesn't need that Maul. He has a second Maul.
Yes. Yep.
And then I've had worse, I think, can go. That's a weaker card, I think.
That or maybe the other Earthrise. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's...
it's a tough call. It's either reliable draw or it's damage prevention draw.
Right.
Which...
I think he's going to... Yeah, maybe the I've had worse would have been better to hold.
Maybe that's important. Yep. Okay. So Ross actually, we see now, has established a pretty solid hand of Friends, Jackson Howard, the Philotic, of course, and then 8 Tsurugi. And now it is on 18 credits. Ross saying it is go time.
Yep. But here's the thing, though. If he reses that Caprice, he's going to trash a card.
Ooh, yes. So will David decide to challenge this remote? I have to imagine that the only reason David would think that Ross would trash a running Sundew
right.
is to put an agenda in there.
Right.
And so definitely an enticing install.
He has a spoon. Is spoon code gate?
Spoon is indeed the code gates.
Okay.
And if David wanted to spoon through DNA tracker, that would be a pretty good value. But again, that DNA tracker is now protected by an expensive Shiashi. But yeah,
and like this is a weird. This is sort of an awkward turn because, like I said before, David really wants. I think what David's looking for is he's looking for the +2 MU from that mall.
right.
And so I bet he's playing. I bet he's saying to himself, if I let the daily cast tick up, I can play my Maul and my Parasite on that Kakugo.
Ooh.
And now I've got a lot of options.
Yes.
I can kill that Kakugo. So many things explode.
Yep. So there goes.
No, wait. No. You need. Okay. Well, he's deciding to override now. Okay.
Yep. So he's saying he doesn't feel like he has the resources to install the Maw off of the Street Peddler at the moment. So instead, let's get that Parasite on there. And actually,
I think
this is great.
Yeah, I think this is fine.
So he's presented a threat to Ross now where he says, Ross, if there's an agenda in there, you can score that.
Yeah.
That's okay. I'm going to have unimpeded access to HQ on the next turn, which could be really brutal. How do you think Ross is going to respond to this?
I don't think Ross has to score this agenda right now. I think Ross can I think Ross can go ahead and just override this ice, put another piece of ice. Oh man, and he hits him with the hacktivist. He's like, "Hey, bro."
Yep.
It's random.
So
Sorry.
hacktivist is a random trash.
If David hits this, if it hits this ice, we don't know what it is.
Pretty good. Yep. We
Was it the
did
ice?
not get a chance to see it, but
man, I bet David doesn't know this, but he wants it to be the ice. Let's see.
oh,
It was the ice.
dang! What
was
a
he got rid of
sweet
his
res. Yep.
All right, so now
Wow.
David takes one.
So
Don't be
David takes the
timid.
damage.
Oh, that
Okay.
hurts. That
Deja vu.
hurts.
Not
But
so.
okay.
But look at this. Even with hacktivist and Deja gone, now it is an open season on HQ.
And Maul can happen now.
Oh no!
Maul's about to happen.
This is so crazy.
Oh, David likes that. He likes to see.
There you go. Nice.
All right.
All right, it's about to go
So it's
down.
2-2. Both players have some potential. Let's see what happens.
Yep. Solid.
Ross is sitting on 15 credits.
Wow.
All right, so he drew his last two. He's got Katie Jones.
Yep.
You know.
It is go time. So as we've seen, David has systematically worked his way over from pressuring archives, pressuring R&D, and now has opened the way
Yeah.
for Temujin contract.
And of course, he wants those. He's gonna get the sucker counters. Like.
Oh yeah, Data Sucker is going to be great. Oh, and here it is.
Oh boy.
Excellent.
Boom.
Maw
Hey.
has joined the party.
David's like, hey, how you doing over there?
Hi guys. I love that Maw face. Such a lovable scamp.
+2 MU.
+2 MU and the ability, if he decides not to steal or trash card there, he can force Ross to discard a card at random.
At random. He says, hey, give it. He's like, I says that. No.
Yep.
And now we random roll.
Yep.
Nice.
Wow. Snipes the
High.
friends in high places
That's-
out of hand.
That's clutch. That's really good.
Can we say that in this moment, Alice better than Ed Kim?
Right now, I think we may be there. I don't know. We might be there.
Pretty good value.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
He's gonna
nice.
trash that.
Yeah, say goodbye,
That is
Jackson.
so good.
All your stuff in your
He's
archives
gonna-
there.
He runs the last card.
Yep,
What is
final
that?
action. Very nice.
He keeps it. That was a good turn for David.
That
seems
was
like
an
a pretty good turn for David.
excellent turn for David.
He's got the Temujin counters.
3 Data Sucker tokens.
Yep, 3 data sucker tokens.
And it's cleared Ross's hand out in such a
Yeah.
way that Ross is forced to draw for some answer.
Oh my god. Well,
And Jackson,
he got it.
it's a pretty good answer.
What? Wait, what?
Okay, draw. Ooh.
That's not great. That's not great odds.
This is going to be another pretty brutal turn for Ross, not finding the answer he needs, and that, I imagine, will be a score for David on the next turn, in all likelihood.
I mean, yeah, he might as well run it, right? Because he's going to get all this money, all these sucker
Yep,
counters.
get a huge amount of
critical.
money. He's going to get another trigger on Maw. Finds the
did he
Maryland
trash it?
campaign and
Maybe.
says, no,
Oh, okay.
Maw, do your work, buddy.
Well, which got trashed?
Oh.
Do we know if it was the agenda?
Interestingly enough, he may have denied himself a score there, at least on this turn.
Right.
If he tossed the global food in there, but he doesn't
Okay.
know that.
Nope. So we know at least what you know them.
Yep, decides to
Yeah,
trash it. I
and now-
think this is
and
a
now-
wise move.
right.
He
And then he-
guarantees to have seen the last card.
Wow.
And there it is, global food. And that means that the other card that was Maud was a Jackson Howard.
Wow.
Oh,
so that's 2 Jacksons gone. 2 out of the 3 Jacksons gone.
Yes, and the friends. Oh, Jackson, he's back in the building, and finally a piece of ice.
He's gonna do that. He's gonna install that.
I think this is what you need.
But
Another engine off the top. Yep, and that is a Susano Nomikoto.
But this, if you're Ross, do you just throw this? No, he can't. He can't throw this down. So if you're David, is he gonna go in?
He does have 6 data sucker counters and his other breakers in his heap. I don't know what he's afraid of.
You're right. I mean, there really is something. He's checking. He's like,
might as well just run.
He looks at it. He's like, okay, I think I got some options.
Might as well run.
Oh,
run.
You know what? I'm willing to bet he'll run it the first time,
Mm-hmm.
and he'll use Utilize Mimic, and then he might even consider, you know what, I'll Deja Vu later for David.
David could be really huge and helpful to get into pressuring R&D again. Goes ahead and takes a draw. Easy enough. Career fair, very nice.
Well, I mean,
in combination with cards there.
I think he wants to immediately career fair that Earthrise. Keep the card. I mean, because he knows he's going to continue needing resources and economy flowing.
Yeah, sort of squinting at his deck there. Definitely more than 6 cards. Could certainly get value off of that. Okay. All right. So David deciding let's check archives there.
All right.
Let's get out our Black Orchestra. Probably a card he was going to install anyway.
But you know what this does? Ross has to trash a card. He chooses one because we have 3 cards in hand.
Yeah, I believe it was the Caprice Nisei, or the Nisei Mark II, 3rd Jackson Howard, and then I can't recall if there's one other card. But yep. David's going to say Excalibur. Let's fire.
Wow.
It was only 2. Wow, and Ross forced to put his 3rd Jackson Howard in archives. Unbelievable. Wow. And David, seeing the Jackson Howard, knows you don't toss out Jackson.
No.
For no reason.
No, he's got it. Well, he can't run now.
So he can't run, but at least now he knows Ross is in a corner there.
So the question is, what's the right play for David here? So we know that he has Spooned.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I believe the ice where the Caprice is a Lotus Field, and David has Black Orchestra.
Wow.
So when it's go time, David can basically run a central, run that card, and say sorry, kill it. How good are you at side games?
that would be an insane read. We will see how that plays out for him.
Wow.
But there you go. Drops the Earthrise Hotel thanks to Career Fair. And it looks like Ross just spent his next turn purging.
Okay. Sure. Okay. He wants to limit those. Oh, that's going to be useful.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Very nice. Both players kind of taking a breather after those furious few turns there.
Yeah.
And I think both of them are in a pretty okay spot in terms of resources.
No, I feel like in the current spot they're in, though, I hate to say this, because it's hard to tell, but I think Ross actually is in a really good place as well. He's got a lot of really big ice, and he's not hurting for money at all. If anything, he needs more. He wants to, I guess, make that scoring remote a little more beefy.
Yes.
But for certain, I mean, with knowing he can raise a Susano, knowing he's got the DNA tracker on R&D, David has to pay a lot to get in. He has to pay a lot.
Right, and with Data Suckers perched, I think that's a really smart play by Ross. He is now challenging David to come up with some solution of getting into a central server.
Yeah.
And that might be challenging. All right, David, he's got options. He's got card draw. He's got money. He's just got to find the right line of play.
He's checking again. He's like, let's see. I've charged the
Jackson puts up the 3 Jackson Howard. It's like, oh, really?
I think if anything else, no matter what happens for the rest of the game, I think he's proud of this for sure.
Yes.
He's like, I did this.
That is a huge accomplishment.
Alice is the reason for this.
Yeah, fantastic.
Because that hurts. That hurts.
Yep, friends. Yep, checks all those cards.
That's probably the reason. He's probably wondering how many friends could he possibly have. Because, of course, that'll put Jackson in play.
Right. I think a majority of replicating perfection decks, at least the ones I've seen and been playing myself, it's only 1 influence. So you run 3.
Right.
And it looks like Ross is indeed on 3.
So
he has a way of recovering those Jackson Howards for sure.
Ooh, Heroes of Sandberg. That's rough.
Okay, was this on which server? Oh, Archives. Okay. Oh. And this is an even better way to get back Jackson Howard.
That's expensive.
With the crick.
Yep. This is gonna... things just got weird. Just got weird. I think if you're David... Oh, but he can install a piece of ice. And he's probably going to install it over that Sandberg.
Right. Several pieces of ice have indeed been...
Yep. There it is. Was that Shiashi?
I believe it was actually Kakugo.
Dude, was he forced to...
I believe he only had two agendas in hand, and that is another score for David. That is going to put him at 6 points.
Wow. Dude, Alice is doing work.
Now, I will point out, if David can get a trigger on Maw in the next couple turns, he could knock that Nisei Mark II off of out of Ross's hand. And there is another agenda draw. What a brutal turn of events.
Install. Ross, you got to draw. Ross, you have to draw.
Oh, no.
No, Ross, what are you doing?
He's backed into a corner. Now, if he can somehow manage to score this agenda, that could be what he needs to secure and stabilize.
He just got a David. Oh, David. I think if you're David, he has one card in hand. I think you go. I think you got to challenge his queue and just believe that you can't be stopped. You have to.
This is huge.
He's got one card in hand. He's gonna check it. He's gonna check it.
Yeah.
There's no reason to go crazy. If he had 2 cards in hand, I can see him going for the trash. But nah, he's gonna say, you know what? Just let me access the card. I want to know.
Now, we saw multiple times yesterday players in really bad spots, and the player who was ahead rushing to capitalize on that advantage and getting punished for it. I think maybe David is thinking about
here it comes. I think he knows this.
Let's make the right call as opposed to the rushed call.
I mean, he started the turn drawing too, so he knew he wasn't going to die.
Yep.
He knows if it's DNA tracker, he's getting in. Yeah.
Oh,
he's got it.
And that is game.
Yeah, wow.
For David through the Susanoo Koto. Holy moly, Alice Merchant doing work.
That was actually insanely impressive.
Yeah.
And it looked like at any point in time, if we had seen Ross score one Nisei Mark II,
sure,
he could have started shutting down David's discard options.
Yep.
Where he said, you know what, in that run, I don't really want to lose this card. But of course, that would have telegraphed to David. He would have said, hey, I do have something I don't want to trash.
It's amazing that that one trash off of Archives, even if it's the corp choice, means so much.
It does. It really does.